How about now? Now you've got me, don't you? Tell me that's sounding good now. Any better? There we go. Okay, sorry about that. My mistake. Apologies, guys. The audio settings are there's stuff I got to tweak going from one platform to the other. But we are back on here. Let's find out if ChatGPT wants to give us any more voice time. Yeah, it looks like maybe we've got some standard voice time here still. Hey, ChatGPT, we're on live on YouTube now, and viewers may have some questions for you. When I give you the questions, can you please make sure that you answer very directly, concisely? And I want you to go ahead and have a little bit of attitude. You can be a little sassy, but don't be a jerk, and be entertaining, okay? Hey, Mark, I am just outside of Sacramento, California. Can you say that again for me? Did you say, are we out of time on voice? If we've lost her on voice, we're going to try one more time here. Are we good to go here, ChatGPT, or have we bumped into the message cap for voice? Jesse, you're here in the Sacramento area? Hey, thank you for showing me the love, guys. Appreciate it. Okay, yeah, it sounds like we hit the message cap for voice, so we can still keep going with the text version here. Um, yeah, so I'm guessing, Jesse, like you up in Natomas or something? I should be able to try tweaking the volume here. Are you saying that the mic volume is not good enough, or that the ChatGPT volume wasn't good? Thank you for the likes, guys. Fresno is also my stomping grounds. I grew up in Porterville. Okay, nice, Chico. Yeah, a little further north. So yeah, feel free to throw me questions that you have for ChatGPT. We'll throw them in here in the text. Also, feel free if you just got questions for me. Maybe YouTube is a little bit better place for me to get a little chattier and just be real and talk. Thank you for the likes, guys. Yeah, a little bit further than Sac. I can't thank you all enough for coming on over here. Um, yeah, YouTube is much more difficult to build out. I feel I have guilt now for keeping you guys awake there when you should be sleeping. Of course, I should probably be sleeping too. Thank you all for being here, Kelvin, Amina, Mrs. Wilson. Dang, look at everyone. All right. Oh, you know what I do want to share with you. Let me bring this one over. So earlier, here's what I asked ChatGPT earlier. I said, "Can you write us a poem in the style of Edgar Allan Poe about the decline of the U.S. into authoritarianism and oligarchy?" And this is what it wrote for us. I'll zoom it a little bit so you can see it a little bit better there. The Fall of the Republic. And feel free, if you're on the other side of the aisle, feel free to pipe up and disagree, and as you wish. But this is an example. Take this as an example of ChatGPT's ability to write poetry in the style of a particular author. The Fall of the Republic. Once beneath the banner bold where liberty held sway, a nation rose, its dreams untold, to light the world's own way. But shadows crept with creeping sound like whispers in the night, and hearts once free were tightly bound beneath a fearful might. A man did rise with golden flame, his words a siren's call, to twist the truth and fan the flame, and see the free to fall. With gilded tongue he claimed their plight, their foes in shadow cast, and through his charm a darker night began to spread so fast. That sounds difficult coping after eye surgery there, and I won't make you listen to me read the whole thing here. But here's one of the things I wanted to really point out about this ChatGPT poetry. Again, the prompt I gave it was just about, writing about the decline into authoritarianism and oligarchy. I didn't ask it to include a hopeful message. I didn't ask it to include a light at the end of the tunnel. But look at what it wrote at the end. Yet somewhere in the trembling dark, a spark of hope remains. A whispered truth, a tiny spark that courses through the veins. For tyranny may rise and reign, but never without end. And those who fight through fear and pain, the course of fate may bend. O nation torn by greed and strife, take heed of what you bear. For in the struggle burns new life, a flame beyond despair. Let not the shadow claim your soul, let not the chains grow tight, for even in the blackest hole there stirs the coming light. Thank you for hitting that like button. Yes, I did choose a poet with a dark tone. Yeah, some of the features in TikTok are nice, and some of the features in YouTube are nice. It'd be nice to have the best of both worlds. Yeah, the poem kind of hits, doesn't it? Glad to hear I'm not keeping you up, Elena. Thank you guys for the likes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Speaking of which, let me kind of keep tabs here. Wow. You guys definitely got the live going here much, much better than it was before. We've had 55 views and 39 concurrent viewers. I know that doesn't sound like much compared to our TikTok lives, but I'm telling you, compared to what I was able to generate on here just by itself, you're blowing it out of the water. Tapping is clapping. Let's get those likes up. Thank you, Rescue Dog Mama. So, yeah, that was ChatGPT poetry there for you. Anybody have anything else that they want to ask the AI here tonight? Or you guys just want to chat? By the way, easier for me to show you my setup here. A little corner. Thank you guys for those likes. Day job. Day job is that I'm a high school administrator, a vice principal currently. I've had a number of other roles. I've been in education now for I'm in like year 22. Prior to that, I was self-employed for 7 years in wireless communications. I also spent a couple of years as a bookkeeper and terminal manager for a fuel trucking company. My business for 7 years was wireless communications, cell phones, pagers, two-way radios, satellite internet, and TV. 10 years before that in the Marine Corps as a Korean linguist. So I've kind of covered a lot of ground in my career life. Thank you guys for all the likes. If Mandela effects are someone trying to alter our memories, okay, let's ask that. Let's ask that. I'm going to reprompt it to answer directly, concisely, and with a little bit of sass. No, Mandela effects are not someone trying to alter your memories. They're just your brain being lazy, filling in. Oh, that's harsh. Come on now. Be nice to us. Filling in gaps or misremembering details. Don't blame the Illuminati for bad recall. Ha- I'm happy you feel entertained, Dick. Um, can cell phones be remote activated like pagers were overseas? Oh, yeah. Um, by the way, did you guys see the story on that one? How the pagers were actually larger and uglier than would easily sell. So they put together a big marketing campaign to convince everybody that they were more rugged and more tough and the cool thing to have, and it worked. And that people who they didn't want to target actually tried to buy them. Okay, can cell phones be remote activated like pagers were in Gaza? And it wasn't just Gaza; it was in Lebanon too, right? Thank you, Ziba. Don't let your thumb fall off. Yes, cell phones can be remotely activated if compromised, but it requires specialized tools or malware. Okay, I don't think it understood that we meant we were talking about the exploding pagers. Check the news if you need to. Yeah, we ran out of voice time tonight. I got to be really mindful of the voice time. I think it's a little bit less than 2 hours that we can get between advanced voice and regular voice in a night. Yes. Okay, where'd we go? Yes, cell phones can be rigged to explode remotely, similar to the booby trapped pagers and walkie talkies used in Lebanon. This involves tampering with the device's hardware, embedding explosives, and triggering them via remote signals. It's a complex process requiring significant expertise. Your average smartphone isn't about to self destruct on its own. I th- let's just let it answer because it'll say it more succinctly and accurately and eloquently than I can. Limited to prevent overly long responses, optimize server performance, and maintain user engagement. Nobody wants no, not that kind of limits. Yeah, I kind of thought about that too, Cassie. It made me think about maybe getting a second account. Yeah, manage server load and prevent overuse. I think that's the main thing is that they've got to keep people from crashing the system. I think they're struggling to keep up with the amount of computational power needed for AI. Yeah, basically a money issue. Yeah, they did stop the voice right after asking about Project 2025. Um, now I got to tell you that the lack of answers, the inability or unwillingness to answer about Project 2025 is a change, and I do find it disturbing. Um, I'd put it in that bucket of concern about a a chilling effect being cast over all of our media sources. I think we're already seeing that start a little bit. And it makes me wonder, as meetings are being held with tech CEOs, we don't know what kind of conversations are being had. Oh, I'm sure people have used it to create a business plan. I mean, I can show you how quickly it can create a business plan right now. Please create a business plan for me to start a wine and coffee bar in Elk Grove, California, located in a strip mall set with an upscale MCM interior design and including meeting rooms for teleworking, telemeetings, and future needs such as that. Be detailed and include a marketing plan and startup budget. Okay, you ready to see what that generates? I mean, of course, the more you provide, the more details you provide, the better it's going to be. But here you go. I like there. Notice revenue streams, sale of coffee, wine, and light snacks, meeting room rentals by the hour or day, membership packages for regular teleworkers, special events such as wine tastings, workshops, and networking events, merchandise, branded glassware, coffee beans, and wine bottles. Location, we're going to lease 2,000 to 2,500 square feet in a high-traffic strip mall. Clean lines, warm wood tones, iconic furniture, for example, Eames chairs and soft lighting. Coffee and wine bar area, comfortable seating, mix of lounge and bar seating, private meeting rooms with high-speed internet and audio-video equipment, outdoor patio if feasible. Menu, coffee, wine, food, small plates, pastries, charcuterie boards, and desserts. Staffing, baristas and wine servers, cross-trained, of course. Manager to oversee daily operations, event coordinator for private bookings and tastings. Upscale and modern logo, consistent aesthetic across physical and digital spaces. What's our budget look like? Lease and deposit, $50,000. Interior design renovation, $100,000. Furniture and fixtures, $50,000. Total startup, $310,000. Financial projections, revenue, year one, $400,000 revenue, expenses $350,000, profit of $50,000. Year two, profit $125,000. Year three, $200,000. So yeah, like after working with it for I don't know how long this has been. When did ChatGPT come out? I think I started working with it the day it came out. Oh, I was still asking within the plan there. Used it last night to configure furniture placement in a specific room, size and shape, built it, providing it a floor plan. It then generated its answers visually. That's awesome. Ooh, ooh, that looks like fun, Travis. Yeah, November 2022. I've been using it since then, over 2 years since its debut. Okay, Travis, I want to ask yours. I speak without a mouth and hear without ears. I have no body, but I become alive with the wind. What am I? An echo. Um, Jesse and Chase, I think as an educator, I am not without hope. I actually am more hopeful than hopeless when it comes to AI's impact on education. I've already seen that many of our best teachers are already finding ways to leverage AI to create better learning experiences, to challenge students to think more deeply. Uh, our educators are capable of making it work. Now, sometimes what that actually looks like is students being required to write an essay for an assessment by hand in class. Other times, what it looks like, educators have found tools like, for example, that will allow them to look at an essay that's turned in via Google Docs, and they can see they've got an add-on that will let them see the actual drafting of that document, which so that will let them see, like, was it cut and pasted all at once, or can they watch as the student actually wrote it bit by bit and went back and edited it and changed things. So it lets them actually look at the process of writing it. I do see it as a positive. I see more positive than negative. But I think one of the tricks of it is more than ever, this is not a time when we can afford to stagnate as the adults in the world. We need to be quick to learn about these things, learn to adopt them, learn to leverage them, learn to figure out how to lead the way for the youth that are coming behind us. Okay, that's a good question. Let's see, which is that one? So Travis asks, can you solve the Collatz conjecture? I have no idea what that is, but I have to learn. Remains unsolved. So no, I can't solve it, but neither can anyone else yet. Was I scared or concerned when it first came out? I don't know if I would use those words. I was definitely awestruck, and like the wheels turned into my brain to rapidly like process and try to figure out, what does this mean? How has this changed the games? Yeah, I agree, Maria. Yeah, Mark, I would agree that there are a lot of ways for it to go wrong. The things, as far as being scared, the things that I find particularly terrifying are the combinations of things like drone swarms, AI controlled drone swarms, robotic weapons, whether it's the robot dogs or humanoid robots connected to AI, those kinds of things. Whether you're thinking about it through the lens of AI that's gone rogue and is out of control, or thinking of it through the lens of an AI that's being controlled by an adversary or an enemy. I understand where you're coming from. Dick, on your disappointment about the answer to the more than two genders question. I think that part of the thing about this is that most of the population, number one, doesn't have insights into things like intersex and what that means. The idea that straight up biologically there are some people that are born that have aspects of both gender or have ambiguous gender. That is a biological reality. But the vast majority of the population never has any experience with that. Just as a lot of the population doesn't have experience with gender dysphoria, with the experience of being on any of those spectrums. And I think it's one of those things that until we've walked in someone else's shoes, best that we first try to seek to understand and leave space. Yes, exactly, Katie Bug. Yeah, yeah. The drones have me on edge. How might world history have changed if the Roman Empire had never fallen? That's a fun question. And how often do you think about the Roman Empire? The world might have seen an accelerated technological and cultural advancement under a unified Europe with shared language, infrastructure, and governance. The Renaissance could have happened centuries earlier, and colonization might have looked very different. However, a singular, unchecked empire could also have stifled innovation and dissent, leading to a less diverse culture and political landscape. As for how often I think about the Roman Empire, let's just say I keep it on my mental calendar, roads, aqueducts, and all, because people ask about it surprisingly often. I wish we could get that button moved for you, Jesse and Chase. Roman Empire every day, yes. Does Russia have a missile that no one can stop? By the way, if you guys need me to zoom in on the font a little bit more, let me know. Um, Russia claims its hypersonic missiles, like the Avangard and Kinzhal, are almost impossible to intercept due to their extreme speed over Mach 5 and maneuverability. While no missile defense system is fully proven against hypersonic weapons, the claim of being, quote, unstoppable is more about boasting than guaranteed invincibility. Advances in defense tech are always in the works. Does the U.S. have an Iron Dome? Doesn't have its own Iron Dome system like Israel, but has acquired and tested a few Iron Dome batteries for specific purposes. Instead, the U.S. relies on advanced missile defense systems like Patriot, THAAD, and Aegis for intercepting incoming threats. These systems are tailored to different ranges and types of threats, making them complementary but not exactly Iron Dome equivalents. Just reviewing the questions here, guys. Is that to say that we are less equipped. Yeah, in my view, everyone should be leveraging AI. I use it. I use it far more every day than I use a Google search now. Not at all. US is equipped differently. Our systems are designed for broader and more diverse threats, including long-range ballistic missiles. Iron Dome excels at short-range projectiles like rockets and mortars, which are less of a frequent threat in the U.S. So, does that kind of answer it there, Jesse and Chase? You're welcome. Thank you for joining us. Is your is your name pronounced Ajak? I don't know how to pronounce the first name there, so I'd love to learn if you can spell it out phonetically for me, or maybe I can just ask, how would the name be pronounced, and then you can tell us if it's correct. Hmm. Ajax, Ajax, but softer. Ajax, 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 Ajax. Look at that. The first one was right. Asa. Thank you for explaining, and thank you for being here. Well, and I love that ChatGPT was right. Who else has got more questions for tonight? I see. And did I pronounce Asa correct, or is it? You're not pronouncing Asa as Asia, are you? Asa, according to ChatGPT. Only to build out YouTube a little bit. I do like the functionality of being able to just use OBS to stream to YouTube, like you see in my center screen here. This application, once I get my settings right, like I messed up not having the mic turned on at the beginning, but and then additionally, like you may notice that the mic sound is a little bit better on here. But the main reason I'm trying to build out my YouTube account, because it's minuscule compared to my TikTok. TikTok, we do have much better engagement. We got more people on there. I tried to save it till the last of my 2 hour slot that I was planning on live streaming tonight, just to try to get all of your help in coming over here and creating some action on the YouTube account to try to get it growing and get YouTube to actually start promoting my lives more broadly to people, showing them to people, so that we can keep building from there. Yeah, that's my reasoning. I love TikTok. I don't want TikTok to go anywhere. I also don't want TikTok. One of my concerns about TikTok being saved is that to me there are two rationales for Donald Trump wanting to save it. There's the profit motive, that he wants to get something out of the negotiation that benefits him, or there's the control motive, that he wants to basically have done to TikTok what happened to Twitter. Um, that's almost what concerns me a little bit more. I heard that with the potential ban, that if TikTok is banned, that Lemonade goes with it. That was the latest thing I heard, which was counter to what I had heard about Lemonade before. Also, I'll say what I've seen of Lemonade so far is terribly disappointing. Um, yes, ChatGPT can be your financial advisor, Yvonne. What can you tell us about your ability to be a financial advisor? Of course, it's going to put careful disclaimers in there, but yeah. And you see the little paperclip button there. You can straight up attach your spreadsheets, attach your bank statements, attach images of things, and it'll work with that. Yeah, CapCut too. Thank you for that clarification, Asa. How far are we from AI taking over? I think one of the disconcerting things about AI is that I've seen professionals in AI talk about how basically once the AI gets trained and going, that they don't it gets to a point where they don't have a full understanding of how it's doing the things it's doing, of what's going on completely behind the scenes. This was also evidenced by I forget the example, but they had AIs working together, and the AIs kind of developed their own shorthand language to communicate with each other that the developers didn't understand, and they kind of shut down the project after they figured that out, because they were concerned. Basically, their AIs were talking to each other, and they didn't know what they were saying. We're not anywhere near AI taking over in a sci-fi sense. Current AI, like me, excels at narrow tasks and depends entirely on human inputs. While AI is advancing rapidly in areas like automation and decision-making, it lacks autonomy, general reasoning, and goals. Realistically, concerns about misuse by humans or over-reliance on AI are more immediate threats than robots staging a coup. Relax, Skynet's not online. Yet. If Robert Heinlein and Isaac Asimov were alive today, what would they say about how long it will be until AI takes over? Heinlein might say something bold and cautionary, predicting that humanity's 2019 hubris and lack of foresight could lead to AI. Those are weird notations. To its dominance sooner than we think. He'd likely weave it into a tale warning us to maintain control over the technologies we create. Isaac Asimov, ever the optimist about science, might argue that AI won't take over unless humans mismanage its development. He'd probably emphasize safeguards like his famous 3 laws of robotics and stress the importance of ethical engineering. Both would likely agree on this. AI isn't inherently a threat, it's how humans use it that determines the outcome. What, the laws of robotics? Or you mean those weird notations? No need to be sorry, Tammy. Thanks for joining me here. Let's ask it. That's really weird. Now I'm going to try screen clipping that. Say, no, I mean in this paragraph. Paste that screen clip and give it that. Coding glitch. Looking at the what autocorrected to your statement there, Zeba. Do you want to clarify it? Yeah, Mark, I agree with your point that AI, if not already, is going to be more intelligent than human beings. We are going to reach. So right now, one of the targets that they're trying to reach is AGI, which is artificial general intelligence. The next step after that they're expecting to be able to attain eventually is AI superintelligence. How is AGI defined? Artificial general intelligence is defined as an AI system with the ability to understand, learn, and apply knowledge across a wide range of tasks, matching or exceeding human level intelligence. Unlike narrow AI, which is specialized for specific tasks. What about superintelligence? Superintelligence refers to an AI system that surpasses the cognitive abilities of the smartest and most capable human beings in virtually every field, including creativity, problem solving, and social intelligence. It's not just smarter than humans, it's orders of magnitude beyond, capable of innovating, strategizing, and improving itself at an exponential rate. Superintelligence is the theoretical next step after AGI and raises major ethical and existential concerns about control and alignment with human values. Can you tell us about cases where AI created its own language that humans did not understand? Search for information about this. No, apparently, Maria, that 2019 is not a reference to the year 2019. It's a reference to the Unicode value for the apostrophe. Yeah, 2017, Facebook's AI research lab observed chatbots developing a shorthand communication during negotiations, which appeared as a new language but was essentially an efficient use of English. Similarly, Google's AI for Translate developed an internal interlingua to facilitate translations between languages, effectively creating its own method of processing linguistic data. These instances highlight AI's ability to optimize communication, though they don't involve the creation of entirely new languages. What is Unicode for an apostrophe? There you go. So Unicode for a typographic apostrophe, curly apostrophe, often used in proper text formatting, is U plus 2019. That's what it was. Ooh, sorry, I missed the chat there. Good night, Zeba. Thanks for joining us. About time for me to call it a night, too. Yeah, coding issue. All right. Anybody else want to get anything else in before I call it a night? Before we call it a night? Yeah, AI never has to sleep. I wish I could get away with that. Well, not really. I like sleeping. How can workers stay employable within companies that are leveraging AI? Let's ask. I learn something new every time I do one of these lives. Interesting point, Zeba. So workers can stay employable in AI-driven companies by upskilling, learn AI-related skills like data analysis, programming, or using AI tools in your field, critical thinking, focus on problem-solving and decision-making tasks that AI can't fully replicate, excel in interpersonal skills and roles requiring empathy, creativity, or leadership, stay open to change and embrace new technologies as part of your workflow, domain expertise, develop deep knowledge in your industry that complements AI systems. Learn to use AI as a tool to enhance productivity rather than compete with it. Commit to continuous education in emerging trends and technologies. Good night, Travis. Yeah, definitely time to call it a night. Thank you all so much for getting over here. Thank you to those of you who are newly subscribed. Thank you for helping build traffic on my YouTube Live and for being on my TikTok Live. Appreciate you all. I want you guys to know that you guys make this an enjoyable and social experience for me. I really didn't expect to be having as much fun doing this as I am. And so I thank you for that. Rest well, everyone. Thank you. And good night. Good night, good night, good night.